back again. I wonder if I should use my OSHA proof stool to turn this other light on. It might help. Oh, my OSHA proof board. It's not electrically conductive. And that does absolutely zero. Okay. There's more lights on the back, but I'm not playing with them tonight. So, right back to where we were at. How's it doing? Oh, yeah, making a mess. Okay, so this. Take some more header bolts out. Got that semi-plugged. Plugged well enough. And just that big ass fitting. The tube should come off. Alright. See how big of a wrench of it. Put this horrible light on. It's a pretty big ass wrench. Sucks not having my toolbox here. Pretty bad. Okay. Step 2. Let's see here. This is small sockets. Here's the Fix'em-All 3000. That's gonna work. Definitely safe to use on coolant ones, right? Yeah. Can't remember if I took the intake off with this last time. I think I did. Okay, so Fix'em-All needs a little persuasion. This should go drastically wrong quick. Okay. Whew. Intake's coming off with it. I'll go in a place I can. Jesus Christ, man. Okay. Hopes and dreams crushed. Feels like only yesterday I had the intake off the thing and the heads off of it. So we call an epic waste of time. Somewhere. Definitely a good time to clean up all this wiring harness too, once the motor's out of here. Fat fingers under here. Score. Cam sensor. Gone. Ooh, looks new. Can't tell this. Yeah, it's not a Casper's cap, but she'll do. Transfer that over. It's another nightmare. Man, this is hard. Seems like every bit of electrical tape this guy put on there just singed to a crisp. Please no mess, please no mess, please no mess. That's a mess. Yeah, a little spill, that ain't so bad. Hopefully the hand's catching that. And this will drop into there. This one. Hose clamp. Collect our hose clamps. Perfect. I can actually stay on this one. Coolant sensor. What else we got that? Oh, crank sensor. I bet I can get my fat fingers on that. Maybe not. Probably all decent. Alternator brackets brand new. So I'll go into the heads. I'm not sure what that is, but it feels weird. It'll be a lot easier with the alternator and shut off. Okay, guess that's my next step. Instead of dancing around this thing, I'm gonna lose my pants walking in this mold. These. And there's my room. Okay. This is where I put my 12. It's a half. I wonder how many half-inch wrenches a dude needs to keep around. Tell him. attention is, let me take a look at that. Stuck on the studs. I have a bag of zip ties around here. See what I should do. Somebody zip tied a ball of wires over there for the EGR and stuff. I probably should snip those zip ties and put things where I want them. Get that out of the way. Power steering at first, just pull that out of the way. That's gonna be.
Wonderful. Hey, sorry, I know you're busy, but we're going to bed.
Oh, he's being wonderful?
Well, no, but it's, you know how long it takes tomorrow school night. So, let's go, it's fine. And then plus, you know, I mean, if you're going to get up 20 times. But
Yeah. Oh, he's fighting you, huh?
no, he's freaking cleaning up the floor for me.
Why, did he spill something?
Of course, he's going to look good, and there he is. I'm counting up again, I'm forgetting the color.
All right, let me say goodnight to him.
But I go.
Well, at least the kid cleans up. I mean, can't fault him for that.
All the carrot water.
Only he's aware he made a mess.
Just ignore it. He loves it.
Yeah.
There. You guys, right.
He's a funny dude.
That's good. I think you got it all, but I swept your face. Yeah. My God, where's the other guy? It's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, baby, let's go. Okay,
All right. Well, good night, Charlie.
oh, wait, I'm gonna just ring all yes, yeah. We're arguing books, babe.
I gotta get this done.
Yeah, so.
All right. I'll call you in a little bit.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, buddy.
See you. Come on, buddy, you gotta go. Let's go.
Yeah. Good night, buddy. I love you.
Charlie, hold on, get out of there.
All right. I'll call you in a little bit, Ash. Kid puts it through the ringer every day. And more patience than me. Okay, so. That's not nice. So the George working on it. You know, mid-80s car. You know, all the bolts are all different sizes. Yeah, because why not? You know? Shop labor rates back then must have been awesome, you know? 4 hours to change an alternator. You got some metric stuff, you got some standard stuff, some really weird pitch stuff. I think the oil adapter, oil feed adapter for the turbo is half NPT and half metric with a weird pitch. A bunch of weird metric stuff on here. Like I think the throttle bracket bolts are metric. Some random M8s all through this thing. Same thing with the wheelies. I was like going through it and I'm like, no, I know I got brand new bolts for this. And it's like, okay, well, that's an M8. I'm an American-made car. I mean, they weren't really outsourcing too much stuff in the 80s on the Buick motors, at least I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Sourcing weird-ass bolts. Another engineering feat. Super strange. And these guys didn't have to be bailed out to the, what, mid-2000s? 2010? How they looked out there. I think it would have happened a long time before that. Maybe the intake tubes, this valve cover, the alternator and power steering off of here. Should give me some room to get to the mouse at least. I'm not changing the heads on this thing. The driver's side was pretty easy. I mean, that was like, I had that thing off in like 20 minutes after the intake was off. Passenger side, man, wow, what a battle. You see the wounds on the shield over there. I have to clean that up. I eventually want to get this motor on the stand to actually see what caused it to blow. Well, I know what caused it to blow up, but I can't see the failure. Head's checked out. Cylinder walls look great. Didn't check the pistons though. Well, I imagine they're probably pretty good too. This upper intake hose sucks. Somebody patched it up. Some sort of JG weld or something. They might have tried putting something there, I don't know. I don't know what they would be shooting into the turbo. Makes 0 sense. Usually everything is done after on the intake. They would go methanol or even like old school nitros. This will give me a good chance to clean everything up, polish it up. Change some of these ghetto clamps. Yep, that's the noise I want. Another one for the collection. mass airflow off. I'll smash that when I'm pulling the motor up. This, the intercooler. Got a nice bracket for the MAF translator. I mean, it's not terrible at all. It was going in the right direction, so. I guess that's the first time I was surprised today. I figured I was gonna see something a lot nastier than that. So, let's see here. I don't know if I can get this on there. Belt tensioner. Nope. Okay. Good idea. Terrible execution. So, I guess two of these bad boys. Snub nose in that. I have no idea. Maybe a tensioner tool. It's in my toolbox. That would be great. Wouldn't matter much anyways. I don't think there's an adapter on here to do dick. Just work with the pulley. That'll do. So, see if I can long it. Maybe not. For reference later. Down. Probably the most simple belt routing I've ever seen in my life. And this one. That looks surprisingly good. Like the other alternator bracket I have is a cracked here up front. Someone overdoing it. Put it right on top of my axle. And that's what we call this. so the spiders can live in it for a little bit. Those collect for my collection. Looking at it now, it looks like, oh, the crank sensor wires were replaced. That warrants an inspection after. Little ominous oil leak on the bottom too, so that's cool. Didn't know that I just cut that and redo it because someone's a scumbag and had it. Who knows what wire that is. That's a decision for another day. Holy shit. This crank sensor is loose as a goose, man. Wow. He's flopping all sorts of around. Sure, that thing has no life left in it. That is happening. I'm surprised this thing even started up. Need a longer stabber. That's a fairly long stabber. So a shank. Pop. That's the noise you want to hear. This is me putting bolts back so I don't lose them. Probably a good time to drain the fuel out of this thing too. Just start fresh. There. I think the The other motor just needs, let's see, it's already got even engine mounts on it. It's got all the sensors on it. I need to put the top doghouse in. I'll put that in as one unit. It's already got the roll pulley, the water pump pulley, timing indicator, crank sensor. So basically it's just gonna be stuff off this into that. No EGR block off, but I got one right here, so that's gonna be on. One shiny clip. Cam sensor. I think the exhaust gasket's coming tomorrow, so probably coming quicker than I can finish this thing. My neighbor up the street has a pretty badass Grand National. Freshly moved in here, and I haven't really got to talk to too many neighbors, just my direct neighbors. And saw this 80-year-old guy outside of his house, and the garage door open, with a glossy Grand National with racing slicks and all sorts of go fast stickers on the back window. He was talking to two guys that I think they were trying to buy it, but the car stayed and they left. But I haven't got to see him yet. When I see him, I'll show him my poor excuse for a crime with Grand National. Hopefully he's not smoking by then. That'd be sweet. But it might get him out of his house if he sees and hears it. So I'm gonna stay on his for a second. Oh, I don't know if I said when I was getting into a conversation, I'm like, I just left it hanging. But I think the reason the motor blew, this has XFI in it, so standalone ECU. It's a Sportsman, it's nothing crazy like the Willys, but still a really nice ECU. Well, I guess when you buy a brand new map sensor, and it only lasts 2 weeks, without you knowing, and the map sensor is located, in the passenger footwell compartment. You really can't hear it. It's stuck behind everything else because that's where the hookup is for it. And it gives you false readings, and you send 25 pounds of boost through this thing. Bad shit happens. Lesson learned. You sit there and you're like, something. $40 map sensor, how bad could it be? I mean, even the GM ones are made in China, so it's like, a map sensor is a map sensor. Wrong. I'll send you down this road. Should have never did it. I did have a 3-bar map sensor and my Alki kit. I should have just, from the beginning, trusted that one. But no. The cost of a $20 difference in a map sensor cost me a motor. So, ordering shit on eBay from China or wherever else I get parts, not cool. Took me over a year to find a replacement motor for it. Luckily, some guy put one up quick for me. There's so much fuel in that oil. It is not even funny. Holy shit, good thing I don't smoke anymore because that'd be fucking bad. Wow, the other side didn't even smell as bad. I know it's cylinder 2 here, but I mean, what the fuck, man? It's potent. Oh, and there's metal. Holy shit. Didn't feel that before. What the fuck is that? And rust. It's definitely steel of some sort. Fucking poor motor, man. Jesus Christ. Let's even go fishing for whatever the hell that is in cylinder right above 2. And see it right there. It's like a lot of shit. Okay, some more. It's never good when it makes its way into the fucking top of the head. Jesus fucking. Holy shit. Alright. For a rag. This is fun. I don't know if you'll even be able to see that, but so I'm scooping out of the head. For reference, let me go to the other side. Clean as a whistle. Clean. There was mountains of shit on the inside. Who knows what the fuck this shit is. We'll just keep scooping it out. I'll need a shovel in a second. Wow. I think that's basically it. Nothing in the front. Oh no, there's, what the fuck is that? It's like mud. Oh man. That is sludge. Some fresh oil too. Let's go excavating. I was looking for dinosaurs tonight. What is that? Archaeology. Oh yeah, that's fucking sexy. That's a big pile of, Lord knows what the fuck. Fucking knows. Oh yeah. That might be just some silicone on that one. That's metal. That's metal. I know what that is. That's how I listened and learned. Fucking around with Buicks. I'm literally lancing shit out of the head. I've never had this problem in my fucking life. Changed heads on cars before. Fucking. I've done fucking everything. I've never seen this. I kept everything nice and clean when I had the intake and heads off. And who knows what the fuck this is? I think this is an ATK rebuild anyway, so who knows? I mean, not that I wasn't beating the absolute dog piss out of this thing when it popped, but them's the brakes. Son of a bitch, man. Nice and expensive oil. Holy fuck. Push rod has shit growing on it, so that's a good sign. Any clearance. This is all clean when I put it back together. No bitching. Okay, so draw the fuel line. This thing has fucking zero pressure anyways. That's a good sign when it hits the floor like that. But I have a backup here of the same fucking wrench, so. That should be fun to get. There's absolutely no clearance on the side. I probably just put the motor in this thing before I bought it, just to get rid of it. Which doesn't make any sense to me because it's not like anything was done to this thing. I mean, it's a stock for the most part, stock cam and everything else. I mean, there was no head work done. There was literally nothing done to this thing. Just a brand new motor sitting there, and it makes you think like, why was that? He gave me the old motor, which actually looked like it ran. The motor builder said it was like one of the cleanest motors he's ever seen come out of a car. So, no rust in the water jackets. I mean, it was definitely, you could tell this car all around was cared for. It's immaculate underneath. And I think the only chopped up part of that harness is the crank sensor, from what I've seen so far. And I mean, I've had this harness up before. I don't know why I didn't realize that before, but. What else is left? Lower radiator hose, which I gotta make sure the bucket's definitely centered for that. We have barely anything for fuel that comes out of this thing. Lower radiator hose, disconnect. Probably should take the turbo off. Turbo, headers, ignition. Probably take the doghouse off too. I don't know if I'm gonna get hit on it. Maybe pull the intercooler off. Put that someplace safe. At least disconnect the hoses for it. Maybe. Nice Chinese clamps. That's right. So anyway, Chinese clamp remover tool. The weather's pretty nice here now, so I can actually get something done. This is gonna get chilly soon. Willie's back in the garage. Randomness thoughts. I wish I could play detective on this thing. It's like really nice intercooler, really nice radiator, some name brand stuff, nice fuel pressure regulator. I mean, it did have a chip in it before and bigger injectors and, even the downpipe doesn't look that bad, but you put all the stuff together and it's like, all right, dude, you bought a eBay turbo. Like, why? Why did you go this far? Clearly you had somebody else change the motor because who knows what you did the last one. Not even my motor builder knows. Although I wasn't too concerned with it either. I mean, and some basic upgrades for a Grand National. Why would you buy, I don't know how much this radiator is, but I mean, Yeah, GM1 Performance. Why would you buy expensive shit and then throw a $300, $200 turbo in it? Because it works? Who knows? Who knows anything about this fucking car? I'd love to know who did it. The transmission's redone in this thing. So he had everything out, had it gone through, and you know, fucking blows my mind. I don't know what the fuck people do. Like you run out of money, you get impatient. You know, the Buick game is a waiting game. You order something, yeah, see you in a few months. That's how it works. You know, usually for everything. Your fucking heads took 8 months to get into the Willys. You know, everything else is like, yeah, I could have probably bought some stuff brand new. Like I got a used turbo, I got a used transmission. You know, this Corona thing fucked everything up. So, you know, I bought some proven parts that were, you know, I know the history on, and took it from there. You know, turbo used, but you know, a few passes on it. I don't know, man. I should have known from the beginning. I ordered a pair of like one of the first things I did was order the door cards for this thing. Change the door panels over. You know, clean them up, make sure they're not sun faded. Besides that, the interior was pretty mint. And I ordered a set, and the guy promised, yeah, we'll get you them a week and a half or something like that. All right, well, a month and a half later, I still didn't have them. I'm like, you know, everyone in the Buick community who runs these shops, they're sourcing their parts from a third party. So I get it. It's impossible to get your hands on some stuff sometimes. You know, there's resellers. They put their markup on it and basically drop ship it, you know? Unlike my heads that I waited 7 or 8 months for, I said, you know, I ended up having to call the manufacturer who makes these heads and say, where are my heads? Get them to me, please. I understand there was some stuff going on down there, but 7 months is way too long. Well, instead, and they guaranteed me, oh, they're going to ship directly to you, no problem. They just yes me off the phone. Well, they ended up going from Florida to the seller, the company that I bought them from, and from there they went to me. It's like, I don't know. Everything's a waiting game. It's been such a breath of fresh air buying stuff that isn't Buick related for the Willys, like that Motion Raceworks column and button and the fuel tech. It's like, dude, you have the money, you're getting that thing in 2 days. You ain't getting it with this. I'll tell you that. Unless you're buying used parts that hopefully you don't get screwed on. So there's nothing like bitching about Buick stuff. Because I could go on for hours with that. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Piece of shit fucking silicone couplings anyway, so I got a whole new set. I think I got most of it in the cooler unbolted anyways. There she goes. Turbo's clean, there's no oil. I mean, no oil anywhere. It's super clean. So I'm assuming the turbo's probably pretty good. It's tempting too because my buddy just reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, you don't even want a, precision turbo for a Grand National?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, definitely a nice upgrade." Sure feels nice. Doesn't feel as nice as my ball bearing turbo, but let's check this one. Good, I just saved $1,000. This thing should clean up nice. Polish all the aluminum. Someone cut the turbo brace off the header. I just noticed that. Noticed that before. Fucking gone. Cute little head this guy. Alright, I think I've had enough tonight. Hasta luego.